Right now, people are gearing up for another day of early voting in the Atlanta's mayor's race and other municipal elections around the metro. The Atlanta race has a long list of candidates, and with such a big pool to choose from, voters might be headed to the polls more than once. Christy Diaz live in Atlanta to explain. Christy, you know, after 2020, Georgians are no strangers to runoffs, and that is likely what we could be headed for in Atlanta.
With more than a dozen people in this race vying for mayor, it is very unlikely that one single person will get the majority. But history shows that second place going into a runoff isn't such a bad thing.
Let's rewind. 12 years ago, Kasim Reed was the second place finisher to Mary Norwood, but then leapfrogged ahead to win the runoff and the mayor's race. Same thing the following year when Karen Handel beat Nathan Deal in the Republican primary for governor, but then Deal jumped ahead to win the runoff. It also happened in 2018 when Brian Kemp fell behind Casey Cagle in the GOP primary, but then Kemp beat Cagle in the runoff and was elected governor later that year.
The people who finished in second, third, and fourth place and their supporters might be united in opposition to the person who finishes in first place.
An 11 Alive poll released last week showed that former Mayor Kasim Reed has a nominal lead, but well below the 50% threshold. Council President Felicia Moore was second, but four more candidates were well within striking distance of second place.
I doubt any of the major candidates seriously thinks that they're going to, win an outright majority of the vote. And so I assume that all of the viable candidates are preparing for a runoff.
So get ready to narrow down 14 candidates to 2 before we find the one winner of the race.
Now, it should be noted, this is not always the pattern. For example, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, she won the primary and then won the runoff a few weeks later. But it is something to keep in mind as this race heats up. Aisha.
All right, Christy, thank you. And if you are still having a tough time deciding, we're going to help you out. You can watch the top 6 candidates for mayor debate tonight right here on 11 Alive. Jeff Hullinger and Sheba Russell will sit down with them as they weigh in on all the top issues in Atlanta that could impact your vote. The debate starts at 7. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air on the WATL.